name is Greg Sherman and I teach 8th grade math here at Lindley Middle School. This video is designed to support you as parents and guardians in building a connection between your students' learning in the classroom and their future career options. Solving multi-step linear equations is a concept that students begin to learn in the middle grades and plays a vital role in creating a solid foundation for higher level mathematics courses. Multi-step equations are used every day in the real world by accountants or sales companies to calculate the earnings for their employees. The important vocabulary to know when thinking about this concept or skill are variables, like terms, and inverse operations. Variables are used in algebra a lot. They're represented by letters that stand for a number that we don't know. 3x equals 6. The x is the number that we don't know and we're trying to figure out. Okay, we call that a variable. Like terms, all right? Like terms are terms with the same variable and the same power. Here's what we mean by that. 4a plus 3 plus 2a plus 9, okay? Like terms have the same variable again and the same power. So look at my like terms here. I have 4a and 2a. So our other like terms are positive 3 and positive 9. Okay, these are what we call constants. They don't have a variable. So let's combine them. 4a plus 2a gives us 6a. And then 3 plus 9 gives us what? 12. Good. 12. Okay? So this is what we call combining like terms. All right, now last vocabulary word, inverse operation. All right, so you know operations. Operations are multiplication, division, subtraction, addition, okay? So inverse is just the opposite. All right, so the inverse of addition would be subtraction. So now let's look at some examples. When solving equations in algebra, we are usually looking to isolate and find a value for a particular variable. Some equations are simple and can be solved quickly without much work. For example, the equation 3x equals 9 can simply be solved by dividing 9 by 3. So x would equal 3. All right, but if we wanted to use inverse operation, my first step would be separate the two sides. I know that this is multiplication. 3 times x equals 9. All right, so the inverse of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Okay, whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. 3 divided by 3 is 1, but we're not going to write that. Okay, so we're left with x, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. Okay. More complex equations require more steps, but can still be solved using basic algebra rules. Multi-step equations. We have now two variables. We have an x on both sides of the equation. So I'm going to look at, I have like terms positive 3x and positive 4x. And I also have positive 2, which is the like term with negative 1. Okay? So I'm going to bring the smaller variable to the larger one. Okay? So 3x is smaller than 4x, so I'm going to move that. That way I avoid having negative answers. Okay? So it's positive 3x. I'm going to subtract inverse operation from both sides. 3x minus 3x, 0. Okay, I'm left with 2. 4x minus 3x is 1x, or we can just write x. And then I bring down my negative 1. My last step is to get my constants together. So I'm going to add 1 because it's the inverse of subtraction to both sides. Cancels out here. I get x equals 3. Good. Okay. Hopefully this video will give you some idea of how your student is learning to be a more powerful mathematician. So, today's scope for solving multi-step equations are: first, solve problems together. Explain and demonstrate how to solve a multi-step equation with your child. Communicate by asking your student why they believe this skill is important. Offer a challenge. Invite your student to create their own multi-step equation for you as their parent or guardian to solve with their assistance. Provide an opportunity for your student to research more about what a career as an accountant would be like. Engage in actively listening to your young scholar more than talking during your conversation. We believe that parents are our students' first teachers. You can support your students' learning of multi-step equations by encouraging them to never give up. Encouragement and patience go a long way. Once your student has got it, say to them, "Now that you can solve these problems, what do you think you might be able to do next?" Thanks for participating in Lindley Middle School's Scope Academic Series. Tune in next time for more ways to scope with your student and keep on solving.